before franchising, I was actually a part of Yum brand. I was working for Kentucky Fried Chicken for the Dallas area. I was overlooking restaurants for them. I was a GM. I started as a very low level as a shift manager and moved up to an assistant to a GM to an operational manager there. So I did work for them for a long time, almost 10 years. And at the same time, I was also working part-time for JP Morgan Chase Bank. So I was working two jobs. Most of the life, I had two jobs, and I wanted to get into franchising before that, and was waiting for the correct opportunity. So it took me 10 years to get into.
All right.
So it's a little bit more complicated, obviously, from handling with one brand, but then also you need to understand the basic of each QSR is to make sure that you're handling the quality, making sure your restaurant is covered with staff, and you have the friendliest staff in town, and also have them trained in a way that they know how to take care of customers. We definitely like to have our employees have ownership of the restaurant in a sense that they're working for their own. It's very important because it's physically it's not possible for us to go into multiple locations at one day or in a week. So that's why we like to get them involved. But our background, our hands-on background of mine, being with Yum for 12 years, really kind of helped me. 10 years, it kind of helped me on understanding what is the need of that brand. What do we need to make sure that this location is successful? And then what do we do to get involved more with the community? I'm a very small operator comparing to the other big companies. We're growing, but at the same time, we have a very die-on communal approach where we are actually more involved with the community by getting involved with all the different amenities, like the school, the churches, the catering businesses, so the business is not in your four walls anymore. You have to go out there and be a part of it. So it's very important for us to be successful that way. Plus also, obviously, the other things are marketing. You have to have a proper marketing skill for around the year. Obviously, people is the best piece of my business. If I don't have people, I don't have anything. So obviously, it was a learning curve for me as well. Opening my first franchise and then going into a different brand and learning something different and moving on to the next brand. But it's very crucial that where you start, hands-on what you're doing. So in that way, when you're leaving the baton for the next person to run it, when you're trying to explore other brands, your home run is gonna be there. Your home brand. And for instance, I started with Golden Shake. I wanted to make sure that that restaurant is ran well when I'm not there, because being an owner operator and being a multi-store operator, there's a huge difference in role, and they need to understand that when they are actually going to be expanding, growth is tough, but it's also very hard to sustain too. So it's very important for us to make sure that we are doing our homework on making sure each restaurant is equipped and staffed with the correct management and skilled people that they will be able to run when you're trying to explore other brands. When picking a brand, we always like to see the AUV of each chain and how they are doing. Since we wanted to diversify our portfolio, we definitely wanted to go in a route where we wanted to pick the best one in their own category. For instance, Captain D was our first choice for seafood, fast food, and I'm a strictly QSR operator. So I only look at quick service restaurants. So that was one. They are the only one in category, and then we actually signed up with Fazoli's to do some Fazoli's, which is an Italian QSR, obviously one in the category. And we also did Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen is definitely we have 8 locations of Dairy Queen. So we are a very big operator and like to be a very strong operator for the brand. It's a phenomenal brand to be with. And so we kind of we have Papa John's, so obviously we wanted to pick the best pizza that tastes better. And opportunity wise, Papa John's had the growth plan, so we really liked it. And it's all about what kind of incentives the brand is offering, what kind of AUV do they have, and then there's so many things that actually work out in making a location successful. So we kind of work together on it. So obviously, we are looking at the economics of all these different brands. When we are trying to get associated with them, we see at their location numbers, we look at their AUV, we look at their growth plan, and we look at the demand in the market. Obviously, some of those will attract because again, we want to be the one in the category. So we really want to pick a brand that has a lot of growth pattern and has a strong sustainability as far as training. So training is very important for me because my people are as good as the training that we give them. So it's very obvious that if they have a really good training program that kind of helps us mold our people and get them on board, and our management knows exactly what they need to do and what are the numbers, and communication wise, I feel like that's the most important part for me when I'm picking a franchisor, is that are they giving us the training support and the operational support what we need.